Now, CBS 4 weather with Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer.
So let me start out by saying that tropical systems threatening Florida can be very, very anxiety producing. They can be scary. It can be very stressful. This one is one that I don't think we have to be overly scared about or stressed about. Trust me, I will tell you when I am feeling anxious about a tropical system. There are more things going against this being a big storm for us or even a hurricane than there are going for it. So let's break it down and talk about what we're looking at tonight. Winds are 35 miles an hour, hasn't strengthened much. Now the planes are going to be in there tomorrow investigating, so we should know more about the structure of it. And one of the things that we know about developing systems like this one is, because it really isn't established yet, is sometimes the center will reform or jump around. So we'll be watching for that, because a lot of times if the center jumps to the north, it brings the track to the north, or if it jumps to the south, it brings the track to the south. There are tropical storm watches for much of the northeast Caribbean islands, as well as tropical storm warnings now for Puerto Rico, the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, as well as the eastern part of the Dominican Republic there. And I think we're going to see those watches continue to extend west as the storm moves to the west. In terms of the 8 p.m. position tomorrow, the forecast is for a tropical storm and moving to the west, closest approach to Puerto Rico. Then on Wednesday evening, making its approach across the Dominican Republic as well as Haiti. Here's the Thursday evening time frame, the Friday evening time frame. But I think by the time it's here in this area right here, through the passage right here, north of the passage near the Turks and Caicos, I think then we're going to have a good idea. Is it going to be impacted by land, or is it going to be staying over the water? If it stays over the water, it will likely come closer to us, and it will also likely be a little bit stronger, maybe a strong tropical storm. That's a possibility. But if it stays farther to the south, of course, lots of land disruption. So then I think our big thing here would be just heavy rainfall. Regardless, I think heavy rainfall is in the mix for us with this. And because it's been so wet lately, I think flooding is going to be a significant possibility. In fact, look at the moisture right now. There's dry air to the west of it. There is a moisture kind of tail wrapping up around it. Watch what the model does as this goes forward into time. It kind of mixes the dry air and the moisture with it as it moves to the northwest here. You can kind of see it swirling there. There we are, coming up towards the straits there, and then on its approach to Florida. But then by the time it gets to Florida, a lot of moisture, a lot of deep tropical moisture with it. What are some of the other limiting factors besides the land interaction, the possibility of that? Well, there is this dry air out here, which is likely keeping a lid on it right now, keeping it from getting too strong. So we like that. Unfortunately, the dry air is not going to stick with it the whole time. There's also a feature up here, an upper level feature. It's high up in the atmosphere. And I'm calling it a disruptive upper low, because these southwest winds, that's wind shear, and as the disturbance and eventually the tropical storm gets closer to this is moving slower. This disturbance is going to catch up to it. It's going to get some wind shear. So those are some of the things that will likely limit this thing from becoming a big storm. In terms of our weather, we're looking at spotty storms coming across the warm waters of the Gulf Stream there. Highs today were in the low 90s. More of this in store until we get into the Friday time frame. That's when the weather deteriorates ahead of what is expected to be a tropical storm Fred. Spotty storms tonight, summer muggies, a low temperature right around 84. Tomorrow, look for a steamy, summery day. Stray storms passing by, high temperature near 92. The feels like temperature 100 to 105. On the water, winds east at 10 to 15, seas running 2 to 3 feet, surf temperatures at 86. Through the rest of the week, looking good until we get to Friday. And then, of course, it all depends on the exact track of what is expected to be Tropical Storm Fred. CBS 4 News Tonight's coming right back.